All right, good morning. John Mashney here. Today's intense life topic is motivation. You see, I'd recently had a situation, I thought I'd talk about it on video here. I recently had a situation where I was talking to a friend, a mentor, buddy of mine about this situation. And he made a comment to me that has affected me deeply, and I thought I would share it with you and see what everyone thinks. If this affects you or if this resonates with you, let me know. I'd be really interested. I actually posted a little bit of this on my Facebook page, and I got some great comments. So here's the conversation. I was telling this person about a problem that I've been having, and he'd listen very politely for a couple minutes. Then finally, you know what he said? He said, "John, your problem is that you don't hate the situation enough. That's why you're still in it. You don't hate the situation enough. That's why you're still in it." And when I heard that, I interpreted it one way. Not that I needed to get and generate all of this hate internally and somehow use that and channel it to overcome this problem that I was having. No. I heard, "John, you have a motivation problem." Now, maybe a lot of people have motivation problems, but I'm typically pretty motivated. I work pretty hard. I have a lot of ambition, generally, I would think, in the good sense of the word. I didn't think that I had a motivation problem. But you know what? This guy was exactly right. I was not motivated enough to solve the problem. And that was my problem. It was a motivation problem. So I decided, and I started to reflect about how can I get motivated or inspired in order to solve this problem and all of the other issues and all of the other problems and all the other goals that I was trying to achieve. How can I get motivated to do and achieve those things? Here's a couple of the things that I came up with. One is I decided that I needed to change what I was listening to. Not that I'd been listening to anything bad or particularly bothersome, but I wanted to listen to the most inspired people that I could, the most motivated people that I could. The fact that I would listen to them and be motivated is what I was looking for. So I picked a certain podcast. I'd heard a couple audio talks from this gentleman, and I thought, you know what? I am going to listen and just do it in a binge type listen where I will just listen to everything that's available. So I picked one podcast called The Secret to Success with Eric Thomas. Some of you might know him, E.T., the hip hop preacher. He had about 50 plus podcasts available about a month ago. And I listened to 55 podcasts in about the span of 4 to 5 weeks. And I'm going to tell you, it was awesome. It was awesome. I was so inspired. I'm still inspired. That's why I'm making this video. It was so helpful to me. And it didn't just inspire me in the area that I was talking to my friend about. It inspired me in every area of my life. I'm going to work every day feeling great, feeling inspired. I am at home and I'm excited to see my wife and play with my kids and do whatever I need to do. I want to go work out. I am inspired. It has helped tremendously. So, one idea was for me to surround my internal thinking with someone who inspires me. And I think that's a great piece of advice that I would recommend to anyone. The second was to develop a sense of urgency in my life. And it's not that I don't have urgency already, but sometimes we can get comfortable in certain areas. And I just decided that I would follow this particular story. It's a story that I love, but I have it written down and I try to review it in the morning pretty much for the last month or so. Here's the story. It deals with a couple, and by the way, I have no idea if this is fictional, non-fictional. I just like the story, so go with me on this. It deals with a couple who put up a bird feeder in their backyard. And after a few days, they loved the birds. They saw the birds eating the bird feed from the feeder. But One day they woke up, they looked out, and they saw all of the bird food was gone. And it was readily apparent that squirrels had busted into this bird feeder. So they took some time. They actually tried to figure out different ways where they could prevent the squirrels from accessing the bird feeder. And they did it. They repaired this bird feeder, and it worked. It worked, let's say, for a week or so. But after a week, all the bird food was gone because the squirrels got back in. Then the couple decided to take some time and repair the bird feeder yet again. They made it even harder for squirrels to access the bird feeder, and that worked for around a month or so. But after a month, the squirrels got in again, and again, and again, and again. Why am I telling you this story? Because to me, it reflects how I now think about motivation and inspiration and urgency. Here's the explanation. You see, the couple that were repairing the bird feeder, they looked at the problem, they thought about it, let's say for an hour or a couple hours, and they did the repairs. And that was it. And it was a matter of, it took a couple hours, it was done. The squirrels, though, had a little bit different view of accessing this bird feeder. They were hungry. That's all they thought about. Every single day, every single moment. How do I get the food? So the fact that they couldn't figure it out after one day didn't matter. The fact that it was maybe dangerous, the fact that it was hard, the fact that it would take a long time to get into the bird feeder, it didn't matter. They were going to get in because that is all they thought about all day, every day. And so when it was repaired and they fixed it and then the squirrels couldn't get in, all they thought about all day, every day was getting into the bird feeder. And that's what I've learned about motivation in the last 30 days. Be like the squirrel. If that's all you think about, if it's so important to you as being hungry and getting food and surviving, that is motivation. And that's what my buddy was trying to tell me. At least that's what I think. That's how I interpreted it. So if anyone else has comments, I would love to hear what you think of motivation and inspiration and being a squirrel. This is an Intense Life Thought. Hopefully I'll see you at theintenselife.com. Thanks.